Well, if you love Italian food and you've always wanted to go to Italy, boy, do we have the perfect trip for you. AAA Travel's Amy Moreno is here to talk about, well, it's a flavorful trip to Italy. But what's really cool about this, and I asked Amy right before I go, okay, so what's unique about this? It's custom.
It is. So AAA loves working with Avanti Destinations because they can create these packages anywhere in the world, and it's all customized, and it's every possible price point. So if you want to go middle of the road, you can. You want to go first class, you can. You want to go economic, you can. But today we're talking about one that they've put together specifically for AAA, which is all around Italy.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but here's the good news about this too, is that a lot of times you bring us trips that have, you know, specific dates that we have to work with. That's not the case with this one.
That's not the case. So this trip to Italy includes Bologna, Florence, and Rome. And it's 3 nights in each, which I love because it gives you enough time to actually go out and do some guided stuff, but then putz around on your own. But you can go any day of the year you want to go. You can go when you want to go, and they'll put it together for you.
I love this idea because sometimes there's some great deals that are, you know, available, but you know, timing's not always the best. But, so, and I know you've been there, so tell us about, you know, the experience and what we can expect.
Well, what I love about this itinerary is normally when someone's going to Rome probably for the first time, or to Italy the first time, they do go to Rome and they do go to Florence. But Bologna is a very, very interesting city, so I'm glad there's 3 days included here. You're going to have normal city tours when you're there, you're going to have your transportation when you're in these cities, and you've got the fast train between the cities, which is fun because it's a unique experience. But what's really fantastic about this particular itinerary is there's a lot of immersion. So you're doing a lot of food and wine experiences, which is very unique when you're in Italy.
Oh, absolutely. So what that means then is because you guys have put it together for us, you've already picked out some of these places that are more of an intimate setting and maybe something kind of, you know, if I were just a regular traveler, I may not even discover.
Right. Well, and Avanti has these agreements in certain cities where you can do home cooking classes. I mean, they know, you know, the local people, they know who's got the infrastructure to have a dozen people at their house and do a cooking class.
That would be so cool.
You know, in some of these cases, when you're at someone's home and you're doing a cooking class, you're actually also seeing the fields where the produce is coming from. And it's a real farm-to-table experience.
No way.
Yeah.
That is such a cool experience.
And then, of course, there's some really good wine, too. So, our theme.
Well, you did have me at food. Now you've got me at wine.
But you go to some wineries. You've got some fantastic wine tastings and pairings, which when you're in Italy, you want to do that.
And what about the accommodations? How are the accommodations?
Well, these are all usually going to be 3 and 4 diamond properties in AAA ratings, so they're nice. Some of them will be some kind of unique experiences. So if you really want to stay at maybe a 4 diamond property a couple nights, you can do that. If you want to modify the itinerary and stay at a bed and breakfast, you can do that.
So we can even change up the lodging if we want to go up a little bit or do a weird
maybe
experience.
Less. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Go stay in somebody's shed or something. You could.
Yeah.
I mean, you could. Why
Let's
not?
go for a villa versus a shed, okay?
Well, you said immerse yourself.
You can,
I was thinking, you know, be out in the fields working and picking grapes. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It's very immersive, and there's a lot included.
Okay, so tell us about this particular special offer.
So again, this is with Avanti Destinations, and it is 3 nights in Bologna, 3 nights in Florence, and 3 nights in Rome. It's 10 days, 9 nights. That is the land rate. And again, you can go any time of year. The price starts at $29.99. It might be a little more expensive if you're going in peak season, but it's a fantastic base rate.
And that's going to include
your transportation in all of these cities.
Wow.
And your guided tours and your breakfast every day and all of these different culinary immersions.
Crazy. All right, I know you want to book it right now. Give AAA Travel a call. You can book it at 1-877-731-3926 and online at AAA.com/travel.